Hey, this is Miss D for Six Women Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button. Please. So, I just want to come in here and do a quick video, not too long. Yeah, some WNBA news. Like, what is going on in Seattle? It's very toxic. We'll get into that. We get into the power rankings for the WNBA so far. Eight or 9 games, or 8 games. We're talking an update on Rickea Jackson. Let Rickea go. So that's my little slogan for Rickea if the Sparks don't act right. So let's get into it. This story came out a little earlier yesterday, and so let me share my screen. So it says, Lee Euro requested trade from Storm over playing time. So she's 26 years old and she's 6'7", pretty still pretty young. I haven't seen her this year, so yeah, of course they playing a lot of Dominique Mononga, the 19-year-old who's 6'8". So she requested a trade, and let's get into this via ESPN. So she's requested a trade over playing time. So the 6'7" was drafted into the league from China in 2019 by Atlanta. And she was traded twice and then actually played in the WNBA until 2022. So she spent last season with Sparks. Now she played okay with Sparks. She was averaging 5 points, 3.7 rebounds, and in February she was part of a multi-team team that sent her to Seattle. Now she has appeared in 8 games from the Seattle Storm, and she was averaging 2.9 points, 1.6 rebounds in 9 minutes. So yeah, something else got to be going on. It seems like certain players just cannot survive in Seattle. Very toxic, seem like. She's still pretty young. Maybe she can go to a team that can use a big player. Maybe the Aces, even Minnesota. But something's going on. Her name again. I think I saw her. Well, I did see her last year with the Sparks. They played her a little bit. She played okay. Back into this. So this is MSN. Let's see what they say. Get some more information. They're just telling her her trades from different teams she played on. So it's like out of the blue. So I'm just trying to figure out why she wanted to get traded and why she's not getting any playing time. I don't see anything here. Now, allegedly, she had some problems with teammate Lexi Brown, and I can't believe that because Lexi seems like she's an advocate for the WNBA and the players. She appeared on Gil Arenas podcast, and she always bolster up the different players. So I don't know. Trying to see anything more about that because her and Lexi actually played together with the Sparks last year, so she was a part of that trade. So, speaking of the Seattle Storm, they were being investigated again. There's under investigation for bullying accusations by Drew Lloyd. So, something happened. Storm coach allegedly cursing at a former player. So was this during the game that the Aces and the Storm play, or was this like last year? So in the wake of the announcement, there has been several reports that related to the Storm organization. Christina Williams, who first broke the Euro trade request on Wednesday morning, made an X post a few hours later that read, her sources, there is a current investigation being launched into the Seattle Storm coaching staff by the WNBA league security. So, this is on Twitter. This post went viral. So then Williams followed up this few hours with another post, which read, a source with knowledge of the situation. The league is reviewing a complaint from a former Storm player alleges assistant coach was directly cussing at them. So was it Jewel Lloyd? And do that make Jewel Lloyd seem kind of sensitive? Because cussing, coaches cussing at you, even assistant coaches cussing at you, is kind of par for the course. It happens a lot. So, once again, oh Lord, Anna Costable again, who was the top insider for WNBA. Yeah. So it says allegation, was made that the Storm assistant cussed that former Storm player following Sunday's game against the Aces. Oh, okay, so this did happen when the Aces played the Storm. So was it Jewel? Jewel has some grievances with her old team. So the update with this, they really didn't find anything. Of course, they never did. They investigating themselves basically. So Storm, since the Jewel Lloyd situation has had some very toxic things going on with the organization. So yeah, wow. So a player once again that surprised me is Kiki Arifin. She was the rookie of the month. Let me type this. Let me present this to you. Kiki been balling. She came in and played like a veteran, and I did not expect that. So Kiki was named Rookie of the Month. Kiki is vying for that Rookie of the Year. Yeah, everybody just seemed like they just gonna hand it to Paige, but Kiki been pretty efficient. So it's a video of Kiki when her coach Cindy Johnson he stood in front of the team and announced that she had won the award. Her eyes got big.
Kiki is Rookie of the Month.
I didn't even know this was a thing. I just want to thank all of you guys. Like, I don't know, it just, being on this team, I feel like was perfect timing and the perfect people to be around because you guys have really helped me find the love and the joy of basketball again.
She was the first Mystic player to receive honor, averaged 14 points and 10 rebounds in her first 8 games, ranking her 4th in the league in rebounds and 2nd among rookies. Okay. So already as a rookie, she's 4th in the league in rebounding. Yeah, she's playing like a vet. It says she was just the 2nd rookie in the league history to post 4 double-doubles in her first 5 games, joining Utah Stars center Natalie Williams in 1999. Wow, remember the Utah Stars? And only 6 players in the WNBA history has averaged at least 10 points and 10 rebounds in her first 8 games. So she's racking up the double-doubles. She's mixing it up with the veterans, Jonquel Jones, the veterans, 4th-year player, or third-year player, excuse me, Leah Boston, and she's holding her own. And it says only 6 players in WNBA history had at least 10 points and 10 rebounds in the first 8 games of their career. She joins Tina Charles 2010, Candace Parker 2008, Cheryl Ford 2003, Williams and Alana Griffin in 99. Oh, that's excellent. I didn't see it coming because I don't know, it's the way she was used at SC. She did not play this aggressive all the time at USC. I thought it was a lot of times she tried to hit the outside shot. She didn't try to post up, which I think she's very strong at that. Yeah. Now, her coach said she's thrilled for Kiki because of how she meshed with our players and staff with her professionalism, humility, and joy for the game. So, she seemed to play wise beyond her years. You have veterans, Dawson, and you have other veterans like Brittany Seitz and Kara Austin. And she's been right along with them. And of course, Citron is playing pretty good too. So Washington did pretty good in the draft, getting players that will come in, and it's like they plug and play. They're getting a lot of playing time. They're playing pretty good. And even though the wins hasn't come like it, they still play you tough. It's a tough out. They're not going to roll over. They play you hard. I want to talk about the power rankings. For the WNBA so far. And so I think some of it could change. Of course, now the top teams, there's no surprise. So, said Minnesota Lynx and Liberty remain unbeaten. And one player, I think, another surprise is Natasha Cloud. The way she's playing with already stacked Liberty team, and the way looking, unless the Lynx and the Aces make some, who I think is another contenders, unless they make some moves, it'll be another Lynx championship. But another team looking good is Atlanta Dream. We'll get back to them. So Atlanta Dream it's another surprise team. They won 4 in a row, and that's the longest streak behind Minnesota and New York. But the Lynx, but the Dream won't face the Liberty and Lynx until June 17th and 27th. So, yeah. So, no surprise. Hold on, they got the power rankings Minnesota? I wonder why. Wow. They need to reverse this. I think New York is better than the Lynx, and they should be number 1. A lot of these games, they crushed the Mystics. They bullied the Aces, and a lot of their wins have been blowouts, and they blew out the Sky. So why not? Wait, hold on, I can't even say it. They're not number 1. What is going on? Their wins have been very impressive. Even though the Lynx are 7-0, just like the Liberty, the Lynx had some issues with Minnesota. They had some issues with even though they okay, but they still a expansion team, the Valkyries. So Minnesota beat Seattle and Golden State last week. Seattle, that's a good win. Phoenix, a good win, but they barely beat Golden State. So still the Lynx are not impressed by how they played, of course. So why are ESPN ranking them number 1 over the Liberty? Because they kind of squeaking by these games. Let's see. New York beat Golden State in back-to-back meetings, handling business against Washington, then finished the week with the first 100 points of the season, flattening Connecticut by 48. Yeah, they beat Connecticut by 48. I think they beat the Sky by 30. I think they beat the Aces by double digits, 12, 13, 14 points. So they should be in the ranking. And then, of course, Jacquard Jones is she came out smoking this year. She has double doubles in most of these wins. So why is the Liberty behind? Well, all 4. So she recorded 4 double doubles in all 4 wins, including a season high 18 rebounds against the Mystics. Now, number 3, they got pretty much. They got it right. The Dream has been playing pretty good. Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard has really came out smoking this year. Then you have some great play by Pow Pow. Great play by Brianna Jones. And, Griner is playing pretty good. It says Gray is having her best statistical year of her WNBA career with 21 points, 4.6 assists, and 5.1 rebounds. And then Howard is averaging her average of 17 points. So yeah, then you're getting great contributions from Brianna Jones and Pow Pow. So yeah, they 5-2. And of course they share the same record with Phoenix Mercury. So Phoenix Mercury has really surprised me. I thought this was kind of I won't say a rebuilding year, but I didn't think they would be this good. They lost Sophie Cunningham and Natasha Cloud, of course, Brittany Griner, and the retirement of Diana Taurasi. Copper was injured in an arrival, so she hasn't played yet. Lisa Thomas that's playing pretty good. They got her like playing a point forward. She's bringing the ball up, passing it to the open teammates, taking it down the lane, shooting a jump shot. She looked completely different than she did in Connecticut. And so I was very surprised at how she's playing with them. But right now she has a calf injury. So you got players that's injured of Natasha Mack, and they still 5-2 due to Alyssa Thomas, who just became injured, and Satu Sabali. So yeah. So last week featured wins over Chicago and Los Angeles, and they lost to undefeated Minnesota on a buzzer beater by Natasha Hardiman. So they playing you tough. They played tough, and they got all these injuries, and they still 5-2, and they ranked number 4. They still stayed at number 4 from last week. Now the Aces was number 7 in the rankings. They move up to number 5, and they 4-2. Now the Aces is an interesting team right now. I think they're still trying to gel, having Jewel Lloyd coming to the team. I wouldn't say replace Plum, but kind of come into the starting lineup. She's been kind of starting slow. Still having problems with finding someone to play next to Asia Wilson. And if they could find that, they'll be okay. Kia Stokes is a great defender, decent rebounder, but it's a lot of games where she gave you 0 points. So they need a big that can at least put up 10 points for you. But Asia, she played a lot of minutes, so they need somebody to do that. So they 4-2 right now. I want to say that they it'll be okay, but I still think they need a trade, because I can see like an up or down with them, even though they could still be contenders. They just need that big post player to at least give them some points to help Asia out. Now let's get to the teams that's below 500. One of the best teams, oddly enough, that's pretty good, even though they're below 500, is the Washington Mystics at 3 or 4. They play you real tough. They still have decent players. You have some players out of the lineup. Shakira Austin in and out. Aaliyah Edwards in and out, and they at 3 or 4, I think, because of they just started to come along after injuries. You know, you have Stephanie Dolson, you have Brittany Sykes, so you have some good veterans. Then you can bring in the rookies Kiki and Sonia, and they've been playing pretty good. And I think their record will get better now they have people coming back. And I like the players that they bring. They play you tough. So they went from number 10 to number 6. They're 3 or 4 right now. It says last week the Mystics beat the Fever in a neutral site game in Baltimore, then fell at home to the Liberty. Yeah, they got crushed by the Liberty. Ooh, brutal. So Brittany Sykes has been having a pretty decent year. She leads Washington in points, assists, and steals and blocks, while rookie Kiki Irfin leads in rebounds. Now, surprising team, even though they have a lot of injuries, but they still have some veterans. It's the Seattle Storm. You know, you still have Skylar Diggins, Nneka Mbumake that's leading the team. I think they could get better. They missing Jordan Horston. They bring along playing a little bit more Dominic Malonga, the youngster, and Laura Williams is coming along. So I think they will move up from 7 I would say they could be the fourth team very easily. So they could go from 7 to 4. They're not quite a contending team, but they will give you some problems when they're hot. They bring in Erica Wheeler, a nice veteran. They bring in some pretty good guards and Zaya Cook. And they could give you some problems, but right now they're not a contender, but they will move up from number 7 to me to number 4. Chicago Sky. Previous rank 13. Power ranking from ESPN is number 8. They 2 and 4. They can move up. I think they found their groove. They play in a smaller lineup besides Camila Cardoza. They have I think Era Atkins feel a little more comfortable in the offense. She's taking her shots when she's open. She's driving to the basket. She's being more aggressive with the ball. They're giving her the ball at the last minute than they did with Sloot. And they realizing that she needs the ball in her hands a little bit more. They playing a lot of Rebecca Allen. They're playing less of Rachel Bannon, which is good because sometimes she could be a walk-in turnover, and they trying to play her in a position that's not her. Olawale or Olerire, they playing her more, and less of E. Will. So they just find out who can they play more and who they need to bench. I think they should play Maddie more to see what she got. Can't hurt. So they just need to figure out how to play with the pieces that they have. A little more pick and roll and give the ball to Camilla in her spots where she can get the easy baskets or the rebound. And I think by putting the ball in Era Atkins' hands would be better than using Sloot. Also, HBO. I forgot about that. HBO put her into the more of the offense. Playing Sloot a little too much. She is 37 years old, and she didn't play a lot in New York. She was on the bench in New York mostly. So give HBO some minutes, at least in the middle of every quarter to see what's going on with her. So if they do that, they continue to play the way they play, they can move up from number 7 to like maybe 6, a 7 and 6 and 7 spot. We'll see. The Fever. Fever been up and down. Caitlin Clark has a quad injury. So I think they need to put the ball in Kelsey Mitchell's hand. Of course, keep beating Aaliyah Boston. And everybody else play their role and hit the open shots. And they'll be okay. They lost to Washington and Connecticut. Those are bad losses. I think they're better than both those teams. And those Suns only win, so those are just a bad loss. I know they didn't have Caitlin, but they had the veterans. They had a veteran and a constant pro in Aaliyah Boston. And you have some players that can hit some open shots. They brought in Ari McDonald, and she played pretty good. And so they knew they needed some more guards with Sydney Colson being injured. And, you had Sophie Cunningham injured, but they still had enough to beat Connecticut and Washington. So those are very interesting losses. They could easily be 4-2 and not 2-4. So yeah. and they could move up. It was number 6. They moved a 9. They probably be number, I want to say 5. Valkyries, the expansion team. They play you real tough. It was ranked 8. They number 10, and I don't know. I think they'll stay at 10. They'll play you tough, but they don't have enough players to compete. They might surprise a few teams if you've fallen asleep, if you're not on your game, but this is not a talented team. It's a expansion team. And you have a lot of role players, but not no stars. So they're 2 and 4, and they're ranked number 10. Now, I thought this team is very, very interesting. The Sparks. Cam Brink is still out, but you have veterans, Hamby Stevens and Stevens, Azare Stevens. Then you bring in Plum. You have some solid role players and Odyssey Sims, Mercedes. You're not playing your rookie, Sanaya Fagan, and you're not playing, even before she had her concussion. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Rickea soon. But so you have these players, but yet you 2-6, and you want to run a gun style. They're not shooting. You want to run a gun style. They're not shooting very well, with the exception of Plum. You're not playing any defense. And even though it's a run and gun, we think it's a run and gun style. What is your style? Can the other players play that same style? Or that's only suited for Plum? Just jacking up shots. So it says the Sparks lost 3 in a row versus Atlanta, at Vegas, and Phoenix. Giving up an 18-point lead against the Mercury. So yeah, they had the lead, but they don't play any defense. And then that run and gun style, if you're not playing defense, other teams could catch up, and you can't hold on to leads. So yeah, it's a team that could easily, out of 8 games, it should be like at least 4 and 4, but they 2-6. Now, these are the teams with only 1 win. First, let's talk about the Dallas Wings, who ranked 12th out of 13 teams. They was ranked 11th. This team could actually be a little bit better than what they are. I would give them, they should have had, if they play the right way, I would have gave them a 4-3 record. They lost a lot of games. I think they said they lost 5 games by 5 or less points. They be in games, they just can't close games. And the lack of discipline, they lose leads, and they can't stop anybody on defense. And Paige been out. You still have a Rickea. You bring in veterans, Dejanay Carrington. You bring in Alyssa Smith. You have rookies, Zay James and JJ Cornelly, and you have big Terry McGowan. But the coach don't know how to use them, so it's not gelling. You got decent players, it's not gelling together. What is the offensive plan for Dallas? What are they? What kind of offense are they going for? And so it's a lot of confusion on people's roles in Dallas. And then you still have a Rickea sometimes get anxious and want to just throw up shots, and so that's not good. And it's a recipe for disaster. And so they had to find who is the leader of the team. and play some of the rookies because you're not going anywhere. So play some of the rookies a little bit more. So yeah, they 1-6. Connecticut. Now it's no surprise they dead last. You have veteran Charles and Mabry, and then you have rookies Morrow and Sanaya Rivers, and you have Charles. She's playing pretty good, but outside of those players, they have nobody else outside of the players I just named, and it's just not gelling right now. So I kind of figured that the Connecticut Sun was not going to be a good team this year. So they said Connecticut has lost by 20 points, 20 or more points 4 times in 7 games. That's not good. Surprised that, like I said, Dallas, even worse than the Valkyries, Dallas and Connecticut. One of the players that I want to talk about is Rickea Jackson, and I did a video about that. And Rickea is an interesting story. She was number 4 to the Sparks, but she cannot get on the floor. You know, Cam hasn't played. Has she played? I can't even. I don't think she even played that much. Maybe like 1 or 2 games. She had she had some knee problems. She's been suffering from that since she's been at Stanford. So it's nothing new. And so when she did get on the court, she proved herself. She scored 13 points a game. She almost had double doubles. She could take it to the basket. She can shoot the 3. She rebounds. She played defense. But yet, even with the injuries they had, she did not get on the floor last year until late. And I thought that if they would have played her more, the Sparks would have made the playoffs. They waited too late to put her in there. They waited till the injuries added up, and they put her in the game. So fast forward this year, no Kurt Miller. And once again, you got a new coach who want to run a gun style, and I just mentioned that she can shoot the 3, and she can get up and down the court, no problem. She can rebound. She's a decent passer. So why even before this injury of a concussion, she's not getting any playing time? And now she's only scoring 7 points a game. And you playing Mercedes, you playing Latu King, you playing this player and that player, but a lot of times you don't play Rickea Jackson. What is going on? So my theme is let Rickea go. Let her go. If you're not gonna play her, if she's not your cup of tea, let her go. So let me so all the speculation about Rickea Jackson, and before she came back, her coach was saying that she was okay. And her last game was May 27th against the Dream. No, excuse me, against the Dream. She did not play against the Mercury Sunday. It says personal reasons. But she's okay. She's cleared to play. I don't think it's had anything to do with pregnancy or anything off the field. I think it has something to do with maybe she's not happy about the playing time, and she decided, you know what, I'm a kind of not milk, but kind of just take some time off from the team. I already had a concussion. I'm not playing. Kia spoke to the media on June 3rd and set the record straight about several things that surfaced on social media.
Better. I've never had a concussion before, so that was definitely weird for your brain to go through those things and you just wake up and just feel out of it. But I'm just happy to be back to the team.
How's the situation with you and the team? You were away from the team for the last couple of days. Kind of, what's the situation been? Before the last game, coach said that they support you, whatever you're going through. So, kind of, what's the situation with you and the team at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we're here to win. Like, personal time is needed. Concussion, lingering things. There's just a lot of things that go into things like that. But just happy to be back with my team.
How do you balance your mental health as far as making sure that you don't listen to outside noise? I know you listen to some of the outside noise. You kind of made some things, clear some rumors up, but how do you balance that and make sure that you stay focused and not get too much sidetracked?
Yeah, you just got to be realistic with yourself. Like, at the end of the day, media isn't about facts anymore. It's about who can get out the quickest story that's going to blow up the most. So that's just the media, just taking it with a grain of salt and not being gullible. I feel like, people, whatever sounds the juiciest, that's what people want to go with. Like, ooh, I'm pregnant apparently. Like, so it's like, media is the media. Apparently I follow this. I've never followed any, team I played for since AAU. I've never followed. I like to follow real people. But rumors are rumors.
How's your relationship, especially with the coach and the coaching staff, and being able to understand? You guys get on the same page now that you've been away from the team, but then now you're back.
Yeah, it's growing. Again, like, everything's new here, new system, new everything. So it takes time, but chemistry is built on time.
Well, now you're back at practice. Are you on track to play on Friday?
I'm pretty sure.
Rickea, you played 3 games so far this season. Talk to me about, developing confidence in this new system.
Yeah, I mean, this new system is built to be unpredictable, just play a little freelance on the sides, but still have a structure if needed. So it's all about, the chemistry piece. I feel like that's the piece that's continue to build. I feel like we're just going to get there as time goes on.
With that in mind, how important are these 3 days of practice going to be for the team? Because you probably haven't had 3 straight days of practice since training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I have, but it's going to be important. I feel like the team is training in the right direction. I feel like the third quarter is what got us down last game, but in the first half, we played great basketball. We moved the ball well, and I feel like that's who we are. That's what we are. So, just continue to trust in the system.
What specifically are you looking to continue to improve upon as you return to the court and throughout the entire season?
Just everything. Just making sure that being a great teammate, making sure I'm, working my tail off each and every day, coming support my teammates, however that looks like. So, just being good all around.
Well, let Rickea go. Now, I'm not going to say players, I'm not saying she lied, but sometimes players is not going to tell you everything that's going on. She tried to say that she follows just regular people, but if you had the Los Angeles Sparks in your bio or on your social media page, all of a sudden it disappear, and you take it personal time, 1 + 1 = 2. With the smoke, there's fire. So something's going on that you unfollow them all of a sudden. But I understand you're going to say what you're going to say. You're not going to say, yeah, you know what? To hell with this team. They're not treating me right. I'm not getting no playing time. I'm getting concussions. But when I am healthy, I'm not getting any playing time. Sometimes I play 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You're playing Latu King, you're playing Mercedes. I'm better than both of them. Sometimes I'm better than Hamby. I'm not giving any playing time. Of course she's not going to say that. But action speaks louder than words. So I don't think she's happy right now to get change. Hopefully the Sparks coaches play her more. Otherwise, let Rickea go. Gotta let her go. You know, you're not gonna play her. And one of my teams I like, they can lose her. You don't want her. Send her to the Aces. Send her to a contender team. Do right by her. If you know, feel like she's not a part of it, because it's kind of strange. Maybe we not seeing as fans. A lot of fans like, why is she not playing? Why you not playing her? Let Rickea go. Let her go. Bye-bye. Gotta let her go. Don't do my 313 sister like that. See this on the replay. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Trying to get to, I don't know what I'm trying to get to. But it would help if you subscribe to this channel, please. I'm SD for 6 Women Sports. I'm out. Peace.